I don't think anyone expected just how well Splatoon 3 was gonna sell, and it's clear Nintendo is gonna support this game long into the future. Splatoon's currently their biggest online multiplayer experience, but it's not perfect. There are many things that Splatoon 3 kinda needs that Nintendo could easily add in with updates. So I'm Thomas on the Switch Stop, and here are the 8 features I want to see added to Splatoon 3. Number 1 is more communication options. Apparently, Nintendo thought the D-pad on the Pro Controller looks like this. For some unfathomable reason, Splatoon 3's primary communication feature only uses the up button, which is this way, and the down button, which is booyah. With no reasonable voice chat feature in sight, you're essentially limited to these two options and I guess ouch when you die. Pretty much none of these are helpful at all. If they are, they're in very niche circumstances. I can't tell you how many times someone has grabbed the Rainmaker when they shouldn't have, and I have no way to communicate that they're throwing my game. A mere fallback text option would help. Or maybe in Salmon Run, catch, because you can now throw the eggs. There are so many different options, and honestly, there's more than just 4 valid text options, which is why I think these should be customizable. Who is Nintendo to decide what we get to say online? If some people just want to spam things like booyah, let's go, and wahoo, they should be able to, but if some people want to sweat and have their D-pad communication solely restricted to stuff like over here, fall back, they should be allowed to too. And now that this game essentially has a battle pass in the name of catalogs, we should totally be able to gain different communication phrases and then assign them to the buttons on the D-pad. Next, let's talk about any new ranked mode. It's shocking to me that Splatoon 3 has no real new modes at launch, despite being an entirely new entry to the series. However, they did update their current ranked modes. They added checkpoints to Rainmaker and changed around the amount of clams needed in Clam Blitz. This is keeping the game fresh, but for casual players, it only goes so far. I think it's very likely we see a new ranked mode later in Splatoon 3's lifespan, and I think I know what it is too. Nintendo programmed an unused ranked mode into Splatoon 2 being Octoball, and that would be perfect on Splatoon 3. And I'm gonna mention it, Battle Royale. It's honestly become a joke on the channel at this point, but I'm gonna mention it at any point I can because it would be so cool. We talked a lot about any types of new ranked modes and new DLC and Battle Royale in this Nintendo Tonight segment, which is our podcast, so check it out if you're interested. Next, let's improve the lobby system. By allowing you to actually swim around during matchmaking, Splatoon 3 made great strides in this department, but it's not perfect. When you're in the lobby after a match, you're left with 2 options. You can either rematch and play with the exact same teammates, or just quit the lobby entirely. There should be an option to just start up matchmaking without the same teammates. You shouldn't have to exit out, then go back into the menu and start the process all over again. I mean, not to be a hater, but sometimes your teammates just aren't cutting it. And especially in ranked, this can be super annoying, so it seems like the system just wastes players' time. Another thing is, and this is really weird, you can't view people's lockers while you're in matchmaking. I don't know about you, but pretty much the only time I'm gonna be in this matchmaking area is to be in matchmaking. This kind of renders the entire locker system pointless for many people. If I could browse this while I was waiting for a match, I totally would, but instead, you aren't allowed to. Same with going and eating one of those snacks. You know, the ones that boost your XP or coin gains. You're not allowed to eat those, which is also weird. Last but not least, just bring back the arcade games from the original Splatoon game. Stick some arcade machines in the lobby so you can play little mini games while you're waiting for your match, or just make those arcade machines that already exist on the top floor of the foyer in the lobby, make those work. I mean, there's literally like, I think they're air hockey machines or something. Like, let me play a mini game with those with the other little ghosts in my lobby. Or, you know, that whole card game they have, let me, practice on that. Next, let me cancel out of matchmaking. If I decide I want to play a match and then decide I don't want to play a match, I should be able to click the B button, walk out of the elevator and back into Splatsville. Do anything to cancel the match other than actually quitting out of the game and either putting my Switch into sleep mode or quitting out of the game entirely. Next, let's talk about crossovers. Fortnite excels and stays in the public eye of the video game sphere because of just how many franchises it represents. Obviously, Splatoon is never going to become Fortnite, at least in terms of popularity, and it doesn't need to be. But at least for Splatoon to be huge for Nintendo, collabs certainly wouldn't hurt. I mean, Splatoon has already done multiple collabs through their Splatfest. There was a Mario Splatfest for Splatoon 2, and also a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splatfest. But what about more? Many fans want ties to other Nintendo games, such as Super Mario Sunshine, and Nintendo has so many franchises that could work here, and they could clearly just represent them through gear only. What about giving us a Lechonk shirt alongside the release of Scarlet and Violet, or the Champion's tunic with Breath of the Wild 2? It's a win-win for Nintendo, so I don't see why they don't do it. Next, let's talk about better friend options. Every time you want to play with friends, they have to join you manually. This game needs some sort of invite feature, and I'm not talking about one that uses the Switch Online app. Several games on the Switch have invite features, such as Rocket League, so being able to send actual notifications to other Inklings, rather than having them go all the way into the matchmaking thing, then check their friends list within the game, then join your private room or your lobby or whatever, it should just be a one button, oh, this person's invited me, I'm gonna click accept to that, and now I'm in their lobby. Another problem with this is anytime you don't rematch and you're with a pair of friends, the game kicks everyone out, so you have to rejoin the lobby again. So if you're playing with two friends in ranked, and then the three of you get paired with some dingus McGee who's absolutely trolling, squid bagging, spamming booyah, jumping off the map, whatever, obviously you're not going to want to play with him again, so you hit stop, but then you also have to remake the lobby and re-invite both of your friends. It's extremely odd that this isn't in the game when you consider that it is in the game, but only for Salmon Run, so why isn't this in the actual multiplayer 8-person lobby? Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is the story mode. I actually love the story mode in Splatoon 3, don't worry, no spoilers here, but when it comes to the story mode, the main progression system you get here are these eggs, and to my knowledge, there is nothing you can do with these eggs after you have beaten the story mode and cleared off all the fuzzy ooze in the Alterna, whatever that place is called. I'm pretty sure Altaria is a Pokemon, so it's not that. To reward players for continuing on with the single player even after they've beaten this main story, there should be some sort of machine that allows you to transfer some of these eggs into maybe coins to use for the multiplayer. Maybe there's some currency transfer feature. 1,000 eggs is equal to 100 coins, maybe. I don't know what the exact, transfer rate would be, but that's something they totally should add in. And if Nintendo's worried about there being some sort of infinite egg glitch that then results in an infinite money glitch, they could totally add in a daily cap, so maybe there's only you can transfer up to 3,000 coins worth per day, and then after that you are not allowed to transfer anymore. Last but not least, kind of sticking with the single player, the new little buddy guy, your little small fry, he was super cool in the single player, and I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, he was just super cool. I would love to see this dude in anywhere else, really. Now at first I thought, let's bring him into Salmon Run, but that might traumatize him a little bit. I think after you 100% the game or something, you should get an outfit, which I guess would be a t-shirt, that actually has a backpack on the back of it, and you can see little Buddy sitting in there. Kind of like the back bling in Fortnite. It pains me that I just brought up Fortnite for the second time in this video, but here it is. Seriously though, I just think anything with this little Buddy thing would be super cool. Hopefully he's included in whatever that big paid DLC coming down the line is, but honestly, who knows at this point. With that out of the way, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and before you go, do you want to listen to an insane theory that I honestly do believe about how we're getting Mario Kart Arcade GP courses in the Booster Course Pass? The answer is yes, you do. Click the button on screen right now for that video. I'm Thomas from the Switch Shop signing off. Peace.